Hello and welcome back to your Esports Rundown for May 3rd, 2025. I apologize, I'm a day late again. I'm still very busy with exams and school and all that type of stuff. We're going to get right back into stuff that happened last week. We're going to talk about the everyday clash where Tekken 8 had their first outside EWC qualifier, and Atif took that kind of unsurprisingly. Yagami did very well to get third, MD Luffy getting second, and then Kira getting fifth. It definitely did look like that there was just a top two at this tournament with Luffy and Atif. Like no one else seemingly was that close. So Atif is going to be at EWC officially. I don't think anyone was really too surprised with that. And then we have Max Mode, where's the Big King of Fighters tournament, where we have no SNK World Championship implications, but a lot of good practice in Georgia as we have Violent Kane losing to Wero in the finals. And then for Fatal Fury, Wero also winning that. So seemingly able to transfer kind of those skills. Violent Kane got fifth, and Vermilion got second. It's going to be a good amount of figuring out for Fatal Fury. Trying to just kind of realize who's where and doing what. Yeah, this was a little bit overshadowed by Level Up Expo, which we will talk about right now. This big Street Fighter tournament where Punk took down IDOM in the finals. Punk was able to 3-0 Riddles. Riddles, I feel bad because he always runs into Punk, and it just feels like this always happens where he gets beaten by Punk in the upper bracket and then loses to IDOM and loses bracket. It's so rough. But yeah, IDOM had to do a loser's bracket run to get the finals, but wasn't able to get the bracket reset on Punk, and Punk was able to take down Jack in the finals, and then Jack wasn't able to do anything against IDOM. JB with an amazing tournament. I think from his standards, getting fifth, I think he probably would have wanted to beat Riddles there. But Riddles has been doing very, very well in his fighting games, especially coming from the Smash background. In Tekken 8, we have Arslan Ash taking down Rangachu in the finals. It was a expected result, but it was a very fun tournament to watch regardless. Shadow is making a really deep losers run to be able to even try and get to Rangachu, but unfortunately King Ray Jr. stopped him, and it was just pretty much the two big top players running everything. There was Marvel vs. Capcom. I think Adam was in this too, but yeah, Adam was in it. I think he just likes playing that game. The other big one is Fatal Fury. There's another Fatal Fury tournament. Punk got 5th and 6th. I thought Adam was playing in this, but I guess he wasn't. He lost to Reynold, who I believe is a typical KOF player. But Chris G got second with Salvatore Ganacci, the GOAT. And then Cloud 805 is taking the entire thing. Talk about more Level Up Expo later with Smash, but as we continue on to stuff going on right now, we have Gamescom Latam, which is a Mortal Kombat tournament, and we have a lot of Brazilian representation and Chilean representation. Naturally, Lavender Rain, Nicolas, Snake Doe, and Tex are in the upper bracket. Sonic Fox, I don't know if he's out completely, but he is in the lower bracket somewhere. Really stacked Mortal Kombat tournament if you are interested in Mortal Kombat. And then we have Kansai Gaming Party, which is a relatively smaller anime fighter tournament. Got a good amount of notable entrants for Unist, but it's kind of a weird bunch of different 3v3s, has different types of smaller tournaments with DBZ, Marvel's Capcom. Then you had the MCVI, I think. So it's just kind of, I think, a fun tournament to join if you're there for Evo Japan. Probably some good games if you're interested. And then finally, there's DIY 2025, a Brooklyn-based tournament. We have IDOM, Shine, Mando, ton of good local New York players playing in this. And then we have not as many, but we still have Fear Silence, Yukio, Majin, and Tenno for notable Tekken players. And then we have Fatal Fury, which IDOM is entering, which is where I got mixed up. Is Alex Smith as well. So a bunch of people just trying out Fatal Fury and seeing what they can do in that game. And then next week, I won't really talk about it right now, but at the big one in Evo Japan, that's going to be insanely hype, and just going to be an absolute banger. And we go over to Smash Brothers, where we had two big tournaments. We have the Level Up Expo, where Doramagi took down a really stacked bracket. But also for tournament stack bracket, we're going to talk about that more later, where we have Doramagi taking it over Onin, and then Zamba getting third, and Light unfortunately losing to the Steve. Spargo unfortunately got fifth, and then another big hitter, MK Leo, got seventh. It was a really stacked tournament. It was fun to watch. But in terms of stacked tournaments, Announce Bowl. That's where everyone thought I was going with that for sure. We had the first time that Zane has not made top 8 since like Genesis 6, which I think was like 2022 or something like that. It's just an insane run. It was Cody versus Zane in the final bracket, which was just bonkers. But Cody took it over Josh Man. Nikki and MOF placed very, very well. J-Mook Mango in 5th, 6th, and then Aklomoki in 7th, 8th. But now we got the big one, Kagaribi 13. Probably the most stacked Smash tournament we have ever, possibly one we've ever seen. 44 of the top 50, 86 of the top 100 are in attendance. Getting out of pools just means you're insane at this tournament. There's 26, almost 2,600 people entering this tournament, and this is also Japan, where you have the monsters that are just lurking in the shadows, and like you just have these raid bosses that no one's ever heard of that is going to end up taking down some really, really good players. So that's going to be this weekend. You should be definitely watching that if you can. And we're going to head over to COD, where they're heading into online qualifiers, as the major happened last week. Was it last week? It was last week. LA Thieves took it all. Took down Heretics from last time we updated. Heretics lost to Ultra, almost got a top 3 at their own major, which would have been really, really cool. Surge were able to try and fight back against Thieves, but in the finals, the Thieves were just taking it. No one was even close. So we're getting into stage 4, almost the end of CDL. And then are they playing this week? They've already been playing. So FaZe took down Surge after a really good major in the Surge. Not really able to keep that going. Ultra took down the Ravens. C9 destroyed Falcons. And then today we got Falcons versus Rocker. Ravens versus Breached. Probably a pretty good match in Surge versus Optic. And then honestly another really good match in Thieves versus Miami. See if Miami's able to keep that momentum going. And then got the banger on Sunday with FaZe versus Thieves. And let's go over to Apex because they're actually in a major, which I didn't know about really. It's the Global Open. So we're gonna go through and try and do a lot. There's a lot of teams that are playing in this, so there's gonna be a lot. And I'm gonna go through the losers for now. In terms of big teams, Riddle Order got knocked down to losers very, very early. Same with the Reject and Pioneers. A bunch of teams you really don't expect, but in this open format, it's just a bloodbath. Enter Force 36 got knocked down. I was in this one. NIP got knocked down. Then we had no one. This was a normal one. Also no normal one, I would say. I'm not missing anyone. Hal got knocked down, but I think I just know them. I don't think they're a really giant. Oregon Apex, and then nothing in this one. But so then we get to round 1 Elim, and this is where the chaos starts happening. Bunch of teams just getting eliminated immediately. Riddle, I think, required they had a 13 kill final game to be able to even qualify for Elim round 2. NIP gets knocked out immediately. Just a really, really bad tournament for them. The F36 able to move on. This was just not that stacked of a bracket, so no real surprises. And then we go over to round 2, where it's just more chaos, where Luminosity looking very, very strong as normal. No big surprises in round 1. Big surprise in the round 2, number 2, Falcons not able to get through in winners. That was a huge shock. People were still very surprised. Crazy Raccoon also not able to get through. Zero Tenacity, like some real big hitters are just getting knocked out and is sent to the losers, and it just causes a situation where there are just demons in this loser bracket. As we'll see in these elimination rounds, Riddle Order outlast Pioneers out already. Reject moving through. Elim round 2 or number 2. EF barely making it through. Zero Tenacity out. Crazy Raccoon out in round 2. Falcons able to just dominate. Almost got a 100-pointer. You just gotta feel bad for these other teams that kind of had to deal with them. But also GG, I don't know where they got knocked down, but GG also got knocked down. And Elim round 4, or round 2, number 4, Koi got knocked out. So it's like these big org teams are just getting knocked out real early. And then more Elims. As we have Rock Esports going down, they were doing pretty well in the past, I believe. How going out, Reignite, CCG, Falcons just continuing their dominance. And then the winners bracket, this is when we have the big hitters starting to go down even more, where you have Luminosity, Kinotrope, Cat, Vert Pro all going down. Noah's Fox was doing very well in this tournament, all going down to the loser bracket. Winners round 2 or round 3, number 2. This is just a tongue twister. TSM went down. Nine Lives, Complexity went down. Navi went down. Aurora went down. Liquid went down. Envy went down. Like, this was so like, genuinely, there's a bunch of these teams you could see being in the finals. And then Elim round 4, which I believe just actually wrapped up. FaZe, Vert Pro, Kinotrope all able to survive. Ender Force 36 not able to. Luminosity, Noah's Fox not able to, and Reject out already on Saturday. And then Elim round 2, we have Falcons obviously getting through, Gladiators, Liquid getting through, Navi getting through, Envy getting through, but TSM, Complexity, and Aurora all already out of this tournament. And And we're into round 5 where we're gonna have, I believe this is going on right now, so I'll try to upload this, and if you see it, great. There'll be games tomorrow as well, but we have insanely strong upper bracket with 9 lives, NV, FaZe clans, GG. Oh no, this is losers. Yeah, this is elimination, sorry. Even still, insanely strong losers where you have NV, FaZe clan, GG, Kinotrope, Navi, Rivals, Falcons, Liquid, Vert Pro, VG, all these teams trying to get through and just keep themselves alive. And then in winter finals, we have 100 Thieves, 10K Club, Alliance, Babo, Exo Clan, Fnatic, Furia, GS. Stego's also been doing really good. Meteor surprising because they've been terrible in APAC. NRG, Shopify, Twisted Minds, like just it's so stacked. Then we'll have Elam finals on Saturday as well, and then we'll have grand finals on Sunday. It's gonna be so sick. This tournament's so fun to watch. I highly suggest you head over and tune in if you are able to. And then we'll head over to, I think R6. No, R6 actually has stuff going on in a few days. Yeah, they have this reload event going on. I don't really know inherently what it's gonna be, but just has a bunch of games gonna be starting. Group stage, I think it's gonna be a Swiss type system. Cax playing FuryX, Cloud9 Talon, Darkseer Fnatic, Elevate Furia, FaZe BDS, W7M M80. Did I say Fnatic? I did say Fnatic. I wish this was in order or something. G2 versus Space Station, Loud versus Falcons, Scars versus Wildcard, Liquid versus Secret, and that's pretty much it. I should have just done this. And so we have this going through. Just a bunch of days of good R6, and I really could talk about this more next week, seemingly. This has 4 hours, or 4 days, it lied to me. But moving on, we're gonna go over to Overwatch, where they're gonna be getting started with Pacific and the Japanese stage soon. And then I believe, oh wait, this Japanese stage too. Oh, this is just like an open. Okay, never mind. They're still doing promotion relegation stuff. I'm not gonna cover that type of stuff until we get to the main stages, where it really matters. So we'll see who's able to make it. Is there any cool orgs here? No, yeah, I'm not gonna bother. So yeah, nothing really big in Overwatch. At least that's gonna be culminating this weekend. Heading over to, don't know what I did, but let's do Valorant. And in Valorant we have playoffs going on, where in Americas, scroll down all the way here, we have our teams going to Masters Toronto. We have Sentinels, MIBR, and G2. G2 winning a heartbreaking game for EG, or against EG. I really wanted to see them make it, but it's nice to see them doing well. But yeah, just a crazy bracket, the fact that G2 went down so early, but Sentinels making it to finals, MIBR and G2 fighting it out next week to see who can, or not, fighting out today. These finals on Sunday? Oh, yeah. Never mind, they're fighting today. This will be ended Sunday. All the VCTs are kind of off kilter, where it's like, China, we're already done. We're not already done, but we have the finals. Wolves going to Masters Toronto, XLG, and then Billy taking down EDG. And EDG is not going to a major for the first time, I believe. Billy taking out Wolves and is going to be fighting XLG for the championship. I think I would favor Billy in this one, personally. And when we head over to EMEA, they are just finishing out their season, so the playoffs have set because that week unfortunate break where we're going to have Navi versus BBL for the honor to play Heretics, and then Fnatic versus Footballers to play Liquid. That's going to be a slaughter. And then K Corp and Vitality are waiting in the losers bracket. And then in Pacific, we have another slaughter. Where Gen.G took down Boom, and then RRQ took down DRX. So now Nongshim's out because they lost to Talent, and then T1 lost to Paper X. So only one of these 4 teams is able to get through. I think I have to bet on DRX, but like Boom's been amazing. Paper X seemingly might be turning around. And then also Talent. Talent is always a flip-flop. They lose one, win one, lose one. So I think this is a lose one, unfortunately. But yeah, it's been crazy over in APAC. Heading over to CS. Got a bunch of stuff going on. We have the Mensa Nomadic Masters. Where we have Heroic versus Big in the finals. With all these teams, it's not surprising seeing these two, but it's actually for a lot of money, so... And it's Atlantic, so I feel like I want to mention it. But the big event we have right now is the Blast Rivals, where we have the group stage almost finished. Actually, no, the group stage is finished. Never mind. So Mouse took down Pain, Wildcard took down, or Vitality took down Wildcard. Wildcard actually did take down Pain in the elimination match. So got one for NA. Falcon Spirit, not really surprising. Phase over FlyQuest is not really surprising. Again, nothing in this tournament really has been too surprising other than like the 2-0 over Spirit maybe, but another Falcons Vitality Grand Finals is not surprising. That'll be tomorrow morning. They just seem like the 2 best teams right now, clearly. And then next week, we're going to have PGL Estranza starting. Very stacked tournament. We're going to get to see brand new G2. I don't have a lot of faith in this brand new G2 personally. But we'll see how it goes. And it's always going to be a great tournament when you get to see, the top teams all kind of... Actually, this isn't all the top teams. This actually would be even nicer because we don't have a Vitality or Falcons here to ruin it for everyone. I'm now more invested in this tournament. Nice. And then we'll have IDM Dallas later. Heading over to Dota. We are getting ready for the Blast Slam. That's starting on the 6th. As we have group stages pretty much all happening on May 6th. And then just pretty much continuously going. I don't understand the scheduling. I like how it works and who goes through. I don't know. Just know what's going on. Here are the teams. It seems like a good tournament. Pretty much all the main big teams are there, so not much else to say, really. And then heading over to League. Still have all the domestic leagues going on. LCK has finished up their round robin, I believe, or for their first round robin. Nongshim took down DK, which is kind of a big surprise. Nothing too surprising with Rollstar losing to Gen.G, DRX beating Bro. Bro did beat T1. I called it. Gen.G, this is a roadshow. Gen.G dominated DK, and then DRX got dominated VRX, which was honestly pretty surprising. And then we have the Telecom War, which is going to be very fun. And then DNF versus Bro, which is also going to be very fun, but for the opposite reasons. Then next week, we're going to have no real bangers. Like, I think this might catch DK out, because DK really hasn't looked too good, but there's not really anything that insane going on the LCK. And the LPL, we already have our first teams eliminated for the entire year. OMG is out. They're just done. They're done for the entire year. After after their match against Ultra Prime, they're done. It's insane, but I love it at the same time. Been a lot of matches going on. There's one I want to point out. Where is it? Yeah. This one, this one against Weibo for BLG. BLG, or no, it might have been FBX. I don't remember, but BLG fired their coach mid-series and won the series. Insane. Just wanted to point that out. IG on a little bit of a skid. NIP still just can't buy a win, unfortunately. Weibo continuing very strong, same with AL. But again, just a lot of matches, and we'll revisit them later. LEC is in the middle of their nonsense, and so they had their road show. It was very fun. A lot of tech pauses. Koi did win both their matches, so I was happy for them. Heretics also won, but that wasn't actually at the road show. So I thought they actually had other Spanish team there, but oh well. And then today, Fnatic took down BDS and KC took down Rogue. Honestly, like, LEC is not that entertaining to me right now, unfortunately, which is a shame because I loved it. I used to love the LEC, but I don't know, it's lost a little bit in my mind, at least. No real bangers for us of the week. Maybe G2 Vitality, see if G2 can bounce back. Catch up on the LCP. I believe they had matches this morning where SoftBank Hawks took down DFM and CFO took down GAM. And then tomorrow we're going to see Chiefs versus Vikings, Talon versus Team Secret, and then LTA. We're in the group stage. Yeah, we have FlyQuest versus SR. No real games. What about the LTA South? I think the LTA South is competitive. So we got Loud taking down Fluxo, Furia taking down Canids. Furia's looking pretty strong right now. Pain's gonna be playing Vivo Keed, and then Isurus is playing Leviathan. I think I just need to do Rocket League and then we're done. I think that's it. Lots happened. North America was a banger. As I do this every time. I need to go up in 4. NRG took it, but there was a little bit of chaos along the way. Gen G took them down in the winners bracket. Complexity took down Space Station. And then NRG had their toughest game of the playoffs actually in their first game of the lower bracket. Or of the quarterfinals. Where they played Ultimates. Got taken to 7. And then they just swept all the way through. Gen G took a nice 4-3 over Space Station. And this new look Gen G is actually seemingly paying off when I'm not sure people really sold. Justin is looking a lot more comfortable and a lot better. I will recap Footballist 1, Wildcard 1, nothing special in those regions. Europe is going on right now. As we get down here, as we get to see no real surprises of teams going out early. BDS, but BDS is a newer team, so like I don't think there's much expected of them. Pretty normal. Teams getting through, and especially this top 6 is very, very normal of K Corp, Gentlemates, NIP, KK, and Dig, and Vitality, of course. Big 4Os, yeah, this is very much like it feels like a 2-team region, and then these 4 kind of battling for those last 2 spots. Just mentioned South America. Fury is just gonna run through it again. Minrise was a good team last split, right? Yeah. The ND. Yeah, they had the ND. So yeah, Fury is probably gonna run through it, but that's your South America looking. And then APAC is gonna be LG for the most part. Kino Trope did make it into the upper bracket, and Koi has a team. Oh yeah, Koi has Elevate. And so Kino Trope, I think, is gotten their first top 4, I believe, in APAC. So good. I'm very happy for them. I hope they continue to improve. And then, but they're gonna be going up against LG, so it's gonna be a little tough. And that's gonna be it. I'm sorry I kind of rushed through things towards the end, but I need to get back in the swing of this. Thank you all for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.